In a world where carbs are your enemy, you need one man to help you fight your battles. That man is Jimmy.
Combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
Can you eat keto if you don't have a gallbladder? The gallbladder stores the digestive enzymes that help break down dietary fat. Because many people have obediently cut down on the fat in their diet to supposedly improve their health, the gallbladder stops functioning properly, leading some people to have it taken out. So how can you eat a low-carb, high-fat ketogenic diet if your gallbladder has been removed? It's more challenging, but not impossible. Taking digestive enzymes and bile salts while slowly raising the amount of fat in the diet is a prudent strategy for easing into keto. Before long, you will find it easier to consume the higher fat levels that are necessary to be in nutritional ketosis.
Simplified short-form keto videos found exclusively at ketowhiteboard.info. Watch it, share it, live it.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live, and we're here with another episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website, and here's how the fun begins. You start off over on Instagram. If you want to follow me live, you got to go follow me on Instagram. I'm Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. Once you're there, you can engage live in the content, just like all of my beautiful people coming in right now. Thank you guys for being here. If you missed the live, you can watch it on replay for up to 24 hours. But after 24 hours, it does disappear. So then hop on over to YouTube. That's where we house all the past episodes. Type in the keywords Jimmy Rants, either into a YouTube search or a Google search, and you will find the show. Finally, we have the best of the best moments of this here show in podcast form. It's the Jimmy Rants podcast over on Apple Podcasts as well as Stitcher. JimmyRants.com is the website. Today's Jimmy Rants has everything to do with this. This is a strawberry, and the other day I posted on social media. I was doing my chores in my backyard. I was in my greenhouse where we have strawberries growing, and I grabbed some of the strawberries that were growing, and I started throwing them one at a time to my chickens. And so I have 27 backyard chickens, and when you throw one strawberry at that many chickens, it's so hilarious to watch one pick it up, try to run with it, have a little bit, eat a little bit, somebody comes in, swoops in, and steals it. It's hilarious entertainment. And I posted that portion of the video on social media. And so when I posted it on Instagram, no problem. Most people kind of got it. It was pretty funny to most people. When I posted it on Twitter, same thing, no problem. Everybody was just laughing hilariously at chickens fighting over a strawberry. When I posted it on various pages on Facebook, again, hilarious reaction. But I posted it on my Livin' La Vida Low Carb Facebook page, and I got comments like this. That's so not funny one bit. Stop giving them one at a time. That's so cruel. That's just mean. Fight to the death for animals is outlawed, you jerk. Those were some of the comments that I got back from people. And so I obviously responded. Relax, people. Give me a break. Do you think I only gave them one and didn't feed them all off camera? And this is kind of a problem with social media, is all you see is little clips. You don't know what actually happens the rest of the time. Anybody that watches me with my chickens, you know I more than spoil them. And every single one of them got a strawberry. Every single one of them gets peely nuts. I'll sometimes throw them the moon cheese, obviously the mealworms. I take care of those chickens. So to say that I was taken aback is a bit of an understatement. And the fact that it didn't happen anywhere else, just on my Facebook page. So I started responding to some of these people, and they were like, oh, well, we didn't mean it. Oh, I was just joking around, and I didn't mean it in a negative way. We love your work, but I didn't mean it in the way that you're interpreting. I guess you can't say anything online. And so it got me to thinking about this Jimmy Rants today. Always be mindful of what you say and how you say it online, because all of those comments, and you got to keep in mind from my perspective, I get a lot of hate every day, every single day. So forgive me if I can't read into your sarcasm. And there was no emojis with any of these. I think one of them did put LOL or something around it, but I get those in the form of hate as well. You've got to look at it from my perspective. I get inundated with so much negativity all the time that I can't read through what you mean to say. So say what you mean and mean what you say, and always be mindful of not just what you say, but also how you say it. Because the person that called me a jerk for say, well, that's fighting and that's outlaw and you can't allow that and blah, blah, blah. Or that's mean, that's not funny. Say what you mean what you say, and be mindful of how you do it. And I hope this is a lesson for a lot of people, because I think sometimes we just willy-nilly write things and we know in our heads what we're meaning when we're writing those things. But when someone reads it, you got to keep in mind they're also reading it from their perspective, which may have a totally different meaning than you intended. And yes, I agree. There are a lot of touchy people out there when it comes to every little comment. They try to make a mountain out of a molehill. So I'm not in favor of that. I think that's abhorrent. The people that try to take one little comment and explode it into something bigger than it really was. So not a fan of that. But keep in mind that how you say things matters. It's one reason when I communicate with people, I always like to do it over the phone. I always like to talk to people, because in the written word, you don't always get the meaning. And I've seen this happen, you guys, over email. I've seen it over text message, and obviously all across all mediums of social media. You can't always convey what you actually mean. And in your head, you have it crystal clear of what you meant. I don't know what the person meant who called me a jerk, other than they thought I was a jerk. So say what you mean what you say, and be aware of how it comes across. And this seems such a modern day problem, because I don't think we had these communication issues in the past, at least not to this extent. Because people talk to each other, and we don't talk to each other anymore. And anybody that knows me, you know, I like to talk to people and engage with people on a very personal level, because you can always inflect the tone that you mean. You can always say what you mean and mean what you say, and people don't necessarily misunderstand it. But when it's written word, yeah, it gets misunderstood so much. So hopefully this Jimmy Rants today is putting on your radar screen that maybe when you're writing something on social media, or even texting someone or emailing someone, that you're going to run into this. People will interpret it through their mind's eye of what you're saying. And of course, keep in mind too that a lot of these people that gave me these comments, a lot of them are longtime followers. So that's why it kind of took me aback, and I'm going, well, wait a minute. I know these people have been following me for years. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but again, with the constant negativity that I'm exposed to all the time, it's incredibly difficult to know who's being legitimately critical and then who's just joking around. Put emojis next to it. Put a parenthetical that says star, sarcasm, star, and in parentheses. Just something that gives me a clue that you're kind of tongue-in-cheek poking fun at it and having fun. Because otherwise, just reading the written word, it would not be obvious of what's going on. So if you're just joining us, I got this video posted the other day where I fed my chickens one strawberry. So I'd throw it in the middle of the flock, and one would grab it and start to run with it, eat a little bit of it, drop it. Somebody else would come in, another chicken would come in and swoop it out and run over in another corner. And it was fun. I was having fun with it, and people seemed to enjoy that video. But on my Living La Vida Low Carb Facebook page, a lot of people lost their minds. And then when I confronted them about it, what do you mean? You know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I didn't mean it to be a negative. I was just poking fun. It wasn't funny. And it wasn't conveying the message that I think they thought it was conveying. So context always matters when you are writing something online, or writing anything, I guess, in the written word. You always have the concern that it might be misconstrued. So the bottom line in this Jimmy Rants, always be mindful of what you say and how you say it online. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. Welcome in. Thanks for being here today. I'm still laughing about the chicken, says Val. Yeah, a lot of people did laugh at it, and it is hilarious. If you did not see that video, go back and look at my social media pages. It's on all of them. But go back and watch it, because I threw one of the strawberries from our greenhouse out to the girls, and one grabbed it and ran off in the corner, and it's funny. And if you have a sense of humor, it's funny. But not everybody thought it was funny. So I was this close, you guys, on that Living La Vida Low Carb Facebook page to deleting that post. That's how ugly all the comments were. And here's the thing. When one person wrote the critical, or what could be interpreted as critical post, critical comment to that post, other people then chimed in. And I wonder how much of this happens where one person says something like that, and it's what I like to refer to as the echo chamber. So when one person says something critical, then the echo chamber comes in, and you've got other people being critical. And the reason I wasn't the only one that saw these comments as critical. I had several of my regular followers going, what is wrong with these people? Why are they hating on you? So it wasn't just me that was interpreting those comments, not as a joke, but as real ugliness and criticism, which again, I'm exposed to on a daily basis. So I've kind of grown numb to it, that when I see it, it's okay, here's another one. So say what you mean what you say. Always be mindful of not just what you say, but how you say it. Facebook is such a negative space. Totes my goats. I refuse to believe that any place online is, quote, negative. Are there negative people? Absolutely. In every single one. And here's the funny thing. The most negativity that happens on social media is actually YouTube. That's where you get a lot of like really ugly comments. But even on this video of the chickens on YouTube, I didn't get any of that kind of negativity. So that's what kind of took me aback about it being on my Facebook page, was that I didn't even get it on, there was none on Instagram, none on Twitter. I didn't even get it on YouTube. And that was kind of it turned on my light in my head that went, whoa, something's going on here. It was kind of weird. Let's outlaw internet trolls. Well, Val, they certainly will always do their thing. And I've obviously learned how to manage that. But the problem is distinguishing real trolls, who I can easily ignore, block, delete, all that stuff, from people that are followers of mine for a very long time, making comments that look like they're trolls. That makes sense. So it's very difficult for someone in my position to be able to distinguish between those. Are you kidding me, says Bonnie? That was a great show with your chickens, and yes, you love them and they love you. Yeah, we get plenty of eggs. If they were in any way being tortured or hurt or anything, I don't think they would have given us 21 eggs yesterday. They wouldn't have, out of those 27 chickens. So it is funny, though, just the way people react to things sometimes. Chrissy says people need to mind their own biscuits and life will be gravy. I've never quite heard it that way before. Mind their own biscuits and life will be gravy. I don't know a keto version of that statement, but I know you feel me. Well, you can make low-carb keto biscuits and gravy. But yes, I do get your sentiment. Val says, my husband says sarcasm can't translate to texting. No, it does not in the written word, Val, unless you use emojis and like heavily use emojis or parentheticals and make it incredibly obvious what you're talking about. People can't read into what you're saying. So keep that in mind. Maybe in your head, when you're writing something, either in a text or on social media or on a YouTube video or something where it's written word, if you read it in your mind's eye, you see what you want to see, I encourage you, reread it and take away like your preconceived notions of what you meant to say and read it as if someone else is reading it. Does it read the same? I know it's a little bit of an exercise to have to do that, but I think it would help eliminate some of the things that are misunderstood if we did that, if we all took a concerted effort in doing those kinds of things before we post. Chrissy says, use the facepalm emoji a lot, or I use it when I'm being sarcastic. Yeah, I'll do LOL or haha, and then like the laughing emoji, those kinds of things. But it's very easy, guys, to be misconstrued. And of course, then you have people that it doesn't matter how many emojis you use, they're going to get their panties in a wad. And that's what I said to these people the other day with all these comments. I'm like, stop getting your panties in a wad. It's going to be okay. So there's always going to be those people, but just know that how you say things is just as important as what you say. Great topic. Some people just don't realize the importance of words in a text. I love talking to people to hear and see their emotions. Bonnie, I'm the exact same way. Even if it's just vocal. In vocal, I can hear inflection. I can hear joy, laughing. I can hear scorn. I can hear all of that stuff when I'm just talking to somebody. It could be that I've podcasted for so long, I pick up on cues vocally. And obviously, when I'm in the presence of people, you can always pick up nonverbal cues as well. So, yeah, but in the written word, not so much. It's a lot harder. Kimberly says, bless their heart. Life is to be enjoyed and not be so critical. I wish everyone lived by that rule. Well, Kim, unfortunately, not everybody has that mantra in their life. I honestly believe there's some people that like to wallow in ugliness. There's just people out there that's who and what they are. Can't change them. Ashton says, talk to people as you want to be talked to with courtesy and respect. And I try to do that, you guys, even when I'm being utterly attacked for something wrongfully. I always try to go back at the person with kindness, love, and respect, even if they didn't show that to me. Naturally, Lena, sometimes it's just a matter of changing just one word. Yeah, sometimes the message that you're trying to convey is so misunderstood because, number one, people don't know how to write English anymore. So that's part of the issue too, that if something doesn't come across in a complete sentence, people have to try to fill in the blanks of what you meant to say. It can be a little bit hard. So I suppose the lesson in this Jimmy Rants that I'm trying to convey to you is when you write clearly, be very upfront of exactly what you mean, even to the point of exaggerating it. Like, oh, right, throwing them one strawberry at a time is going to be good for your chickens, wink, wink, nod, nod, and show an emoji. That would be obvious that you're joking. But if you're like, well, you're just a jerk for encouraging them to fight like that. Okay, well, I can't read into that anymore. Then you're just being a hater who's going to hate. Even if you didn't mean it that way, that's the way it's going to read. So hopefully the lesson I'm sharing here today is be mindful always of how you say things and as much as what you say. So, guys, that's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. As always, hop on over to JimmyRants.com and you'll see where the fun begins. It's over on Instagram. So go follow me on Instagram. I'm almost back to 10,000 followers again, you guys. I'm at like 8,900 followers after I got hacked in November. I'm trying to get back to that 10,000 mark. So help me out. Go share the love of Instagram. I'm at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. Once you're there, you can engage live in the content, just like all these people did here today. Thank you guys for being here. If you missed the live, or if you came in towards the tail end, like my friend C-Doc came in right here at the end, that's okay. You can watch it on replay for up to 24 hours on Instagram. After 24 hours, it does disappear. So we do throw all the past episodes up on YouTube. Type in a keyword search Jimmy Rants. You will find the show. Finally, we have the best of the best moments of this here show in podcast form. It's the Jimmy Rants podcast on Apple Podcast as well as Stitcher. JimmyRants.com is the website. So until next time, we'll see you then.